What I'm going to say now is trying to give you advice to the people who are having problems with taking SSRI drug, and especially I was taking fluoxetine, also known as Prozac, or in Europe it's called Magrillan. But it's very usual, typical SSRI drug, which a lot of people in the world, I think that 10% of Americans are taking SSRI drugs, the antidepressants SSRI, are taking, the 10% of the Americans are taking these drugs, like I don't know, 5% of the Europeans are taking the drug. It's just really hard drug, which is like attacking the brain, and it's altering the chemical reactions in the brain. Firstly, I want to say that I don't have much experiences with many other antidepressants, so I cannot compare much of those things. But I was taking Prozac, and I could say that I was taking it only a very short time, like 9 months, and including these 9 months was 2 months when I was starting it, and 3 last months when I was trying to taper off and weaning off the drug. So lowering the doses and disappearing, and I was not. I'm having a lot of experiences with that now, so I can give you the kind of lot of informations about how to get rid of the drug if you want to stop with the SSRI and it doesn't fit you, and the doctor prescribe you something which you maybe don't feel well with, and now it's hard to stop because you feel addictive, or they say that antidepressants SSRI are not addictive to drugs, but it's not true. They are addictive. You cannot stop with them immediately. That means that your brain is adapted to take the drug, is get used to take the drug. It's not possible to get off immediately, so it's in a way addictive, even if after a time you can stop very slowly, and on that level it's not addictive. But in the time when you're taking it, it's very addictive. It is very addictive, and it's impossible to stop with the drug. Then people who are stopping the drug and immediately after taking, I don't know, 20 milligrams of Prozac or 40 milligrams of Prozac daily, and they stop immediately, they have really hard withdrawal symptoms and discontinuation syndromes, and all these negative and extremely dangerous reactions of the brain. So definitely they must not be stopped immediately in taking, and that means that they are in a way addictive, even if it's not written in the flyer to the drug, or not even the doctor will say to you, but they are in a way addictive. And it's now in the modern researchers, they are finding out that there's a lot of problems with people taking off the Prozac and all these antidepressants, SSRI. So it's really like serious topic and serious problem. In the times when the FDA and American Association approved that drug, there was only a short period of experimentation with the drug. So the company, pharmaceutical companies itself, and the doctors, they didn't have much of experiences and much of the information about how to taper off and wean off the drug. They didn't know about the side effects that much. They didn't know about the withdrawal symptoms. They have to say that the withdrawal symptoms and side effects are the two different things, which I'll explain a little bit later. And these people, these doctors, they didn't know about plenty of things about these pills. So they were prescribing the people without that much of awareness of how negative consequences this drug could give them, and it was a terrible mistake that the FDA approved that after a very short time experimentation and lab tests with the rats and people as well later. They didn't take care much because they wanted to have a profit. I think that the pharmaceutical companies are very often hiding many of the facts and only of the informations and the negative informations about the drug, about this or that drug, because they want to get a profit from selling it. It takes a lot of people are taking this drug, so they get billions of dollars selling it, and they are hard to stop some of the people are also lifetime patients on SSRI. It's hard for them to stop, and it's a great business for the for the company. It brings them billions of dollars. So they have a reason to hide certain informations, and I think that it's kind of they purposely don't say. If you look at a flyer of the drug added to the package of the drug, there's a flyer written about side effects and all these contradictions and blah blah blah. Plenty of informations, and they say a lot of things about the side effects. The side effects are the things, the feelings you have when you are already taking the drug. In the terms of being treated, because it's a drug, and hard to say that with a drug you can be treated. I think that with a medicament you can be treated, but with a drug, you are drugged, not treated. But if you are taking the drug, or when you are taking the drug, and you have negative effects, side effects when taking the drug, these are the side effects in the terms and conditions. And the withdrawal symptoms, which are much more serious, are coming when you're discontinuing with the drug, and these are 10 times worse than the side effects themselves, which are written in the flyer. So they say a lot of things about the side effects, which are disappearing in 2-3 weeks after you're starting to take the drug, and then you feel fine for a certain time. Then you have to higher the doses and higher the doses, and in the years of taking, you are addictive, really, like your brain is altered chemically. It's impossible to stop with it, and then you feel bad about it. Sometimes it helps to go low in the doses. If you're taking 10 milligrams, then 20 milligrams, then 30 milligrams, then 40 milligrams, and you feel bad about it after, I don't know, 2-3 years of taking it. In the long term of taking, because 2 or 3 or 5 years, it's a long term being on a drug of Prozac. Then you go on 40 milligrams and 30 milligrams, for example, or 25 milligrams, and it's sometimes helpful, and less is sometimes more. I mean, but you have to go slowly to from the 40 to 20 or 40 to 25, really, like in 2 months or 3 months even. But if you're still taking the drug, it will not disappear from your body, especially with the Prozac, which has a long time of duration staying in your brain. So sorry for my primitive English, but it's not my native language, but trying to explain that you can go from 40 to 25 or 30 in like 2-3 months, lowering the doses slowly, and it will not have that much negative impact or negative effect on your brain. But it's sometimes helpful for the people who are taking too much of the drug and feel like completely stoned, because the Prozac is the drug which is also catching you from behind like that, and you just don't realize that you're becoming dependent on that. And especially, it's a little bit like a sedative, a little bit like not only attacking the serotonin, but also making you kind of stoned. Oh, what a beautiful flowers, what a beautiful tree, what a lovely world, and beautiful sky, and clouds are moving on the sky. You know, you're happy. But on the way, it's a drug. It's really like a drug, even more dangerous than some of the drugs which are illegal. Illegal drugs are usually very strong onset and short term of working in you, and easier to get off. These legal drugs, which are pills, they are having slower onset at the beginning, because you have to start taking them slowly, but they keep in your brain for the longer time. And this is definitely a chemical thing, because the drug, a Prozac, is not dissolvable in the water. That means that you cannot clean off with drinking the water like that. every day, like 3 liters. I don't know how it is in America, but 3 liters is like 1.5 bottle like that, or 2 bottles like that every day of the pure non-bubbles clean water. If you're having a kind of abstinential syndrome, then definitely with the heroin or cocaine, you can basically clean off your body. I've never been taking it, but what I've heard about from the people, you can clean off in 2-3 weeks. Your body is completely off. But with the Prozac, it stays in you for a long month, because it is not dissolvable in the water. It's only burnt in the fats, which means that it's much stronger chemical reaction compound, and that means that it stays in your body for a longer time. That's why the leaving the drug is much harder to get off of the Prozac. So I'm going to say that how you have to stop with the drug. The thing is that I was taking for 9 months. For 3 months it had taken me until I became addictive, or 2 months it just went in me. You can be addictive after a month already, or 2 weeks, but it depends on the sensibility of personality and how much of serotonin you have in the brain. But the thing is that I was starting with 5 milligrams of Prozac, which is almost nothing. Then I was taking 10 milligrams for about a month, then 15 milligrams, and by the end, by the Christmas time, when I was taking all the 3.5 months, I was taking 20 milligrams, and then I stopped for 3 days. And after 3 days, it came such a terrible brain zaps. I had a roll up as like a kind of stroboscope, like kind of energetical pulses from the middle of the brain to everywhere, also to the whole of the body, because all the nervous system was basically fucked and completely like shocked. I had kind of electric impulses. It was impossible, because every 2-3 minutes I had an electric impulse. It was the suicidal feeling. Like really, I felt suicidal, because I didn't feel not only well, but I was like I was completely knackered. I was completely ranged. I lost like 10 pounds in 3 days, drinking 7 liters of the water, like 3.5 bottles like that of the water, and I was completely not able to sleep, not able to eat. I was vomiting. It was the worst feeling I've ever had, and no wonder that a lot of people had committed suicide when they were taking for a long time a Prozac. And I was taking it only for a short time, 3 months, and I stopped only for 3 days, and immediately I had abstinential syndromes. So I decided to go back to the normal dose, 20 milligrams, but I was taking it twice a day, not only once a day as before, but twice a day, and only 10 and 10. Then after like 2 weeks, I go on 9 and 9. Then after some kind of 1.5 week, I go like 7.5 and 7.5 milligrams. Then I don't know, 6.6, then 5.5, then 4.4. Every 2 weeks you go down like 10%, 5 to 10%, depends. You're just opening the capsule. I'll show you how to have to do. You just open the capsule, because these capsules are definitely in this kind of thing. Okay, so you have to take a capsule. If you have a film tablet, then you have a film tablet and you just cut off a certain amount of it. But with this, you have to take a certain amount of Prozac. I just show it to you here, like that. And, you put it on the powder from the capsule. Capsule was open. I open that and I chuck it, and then you immediately take how much you need. Exactly. You have to divide how much is approximately 5 milligrams. Exactly. That a tablet, that the pill has a 20 milligrams. So you go divide it on half, 10, and then you take approximately 5 milligrams, so 2.5 milligrams. You put 1 milligram, and then you take 1 milligram off. And you know that this amount is 9 milligrams. So eating on the tongue, especially very take it when you take only a powder, not a capsule. Do it on empty stomach, okay, and then drink it. Water. And you take this, and this is the way how you are able to get rid of the drug. I don't feel no brain zaps at the end of April, when I was taking only 1 milligram every day, 1.5 milligram every day, and then I stopped. For 2 weeks I was taking 1.5 milligrams, and I stopped, and I don't feel any kind of negative side effects, no brain zaps, and this works for the people who are taking this for a relatively short time, for about 9 months to 1 year. Then it's possible to get off of the drugs by taking off 10% of the drug each 2-3 weeks. So it's really possible to get off of the drug, and I wish you a lot of luck. It's just 15 minutes. I have to stop. Just see another video where I'll speak about the long term of taking the Prozac. Thanks.